Hey, how's it going, guys? So here we have our semifinals for the League Cup in Northridge this weekend. On our right, we do have Aramasu playing Glaceon, Glaceon Zoroark to be exact. And then on our left, we have Ryan Foley playing Hoopa, attacking Hoopa to be exact. Um, very interesting deck choices from both of these players. Um, Aramasu um, starting off with the Eevee does get an energy on it, and we are going to see a Glaceon come out. We do see a Nest Ball, and he does get a Mewtwo with that. We see a Zora, and that's going to end it for his turn. Ryan Foley does attach an energy to Hoopa, then passes. We do see a trade from Zoroark, and we see a DC on Mewtwo, and we see an N. So Ryan Foley not to a great start, but is setting up those Hoopas so he can start doing some damage. We're gonna see an Ultra Ball. Discards an Aqua Patch and a Water Energy. Does get a Zora. And it's Ryan Foley's turn. So we do see an Enhance Hammer, gets rid of that DC on the Mewtwo. We do see Max Elixir. Ryan does whiff that, so he does not get an energy for that turn. We see an energy go down on the bench, and we see a Cynthia after a Parallel was played. Ryan's deck is just pretty much attacking Hoopa. He just attacks with Hoopa. He runs Orangaroos and stuff like that. For draw support and also for resource retrieval. As you can see, we are seeing 2 Nest Balls. He does get another Hoopa and that Orangaroo that I was just talking about, and passes the turn. I'm also trying to figure out what he's gonna do to deal with this Hoopa. It's hard. It's really hard if you don't have a non-EX attacker. Looks like Aramasu has a Mewtwo. I don't know if he runs 2, but this Mewtwo is going to help him out a lot to try to win this game. We do see a trade from Aramasu. We do see a DC go down on the Zoroark. We see another Mewtwo, but it's stopped because Parallel is out, so he can't play that. Can't play that Mewtwo. We do see an N come down from Aramasu. And he passes. There's not much he can do. And we do see a Max Elixir from Ryan's side. And he ends up whiffing, so he does not get the energy attachment for the turn with that Max Elixir. We see a Fighting Fury Belt and a Float Stone, I believe. We do see a Lily, so he will draw until he has 4 cards or 6 cards. You see a Retreat, gets an Orangaroo out, uses Orangaroo's effect, puts 3 cards at the bottom of the deck, was about to shuffle. Good thing he stopped himself, because that would have been very weird. I don't know what kind of ruling we have for that, but yeah. So it's Aramasu's turn. He draws. Oh, we do see a trade. And Ryan Foley using those Get Good dice. He is the creator of those dice. Guys, link to that in the description. Very useful. You're gonna see him playing with those dice this whole match, and it just keeps track of the state of board. Keeps track of the energies being played, supporters being played, abilities used on Zoroarks. So then there's no what's it called, confusion. But yeah, I use these dice. I was fortunate enough to get my hands on some from him, and I use them, and I like them. They help me out a lot keeping track, especially with Zoroark. Usually when there's multiple Zoroarks, there's confusion between which one was used, which one wasn't used. So yeah. So we do see that he already used 2 trades. He attaches Floatstone, maybe, to Glaceon. We see a Rescue Stretcher, gets back an Eevee. We do see trade, gets rid of, with a Field Blower, gets rid of all that stuff. And then we see Zoroark come up and takes a knockout on a Rangaroo. We do see Super Rod, gets 3 cards, throws them back into the deck. And then we see a Cynthia, so he's going to shuffle his whole hand and draw 6 cards. We see Hammer. Oh, we see Max Elixir. Did he get it this time? He did. We are going to see that that energy on the Hoopa, on the bench. We're going to see Reverse Valley. I think that's what it's called. It lets him do an extra 10 damage. His Dark Pokemon gets to do an extra 10 damage. He does have a Fighting Fury belt on that Hoopa that's in the front. He does whiff another Max Elixir. It's just very unfortunate that he's not able to get these Max Elixirs going. And he does 100 damage, which is really good. So we do see double trade. See Floatstone retreat into Mewtwo DCE and attacks this Hoopa, does 60 damage. We do see Sycamore, so he is going to draw 7 cards. And he attacks this Mewtwo for 100. So this Mewtwo is pretty much Atamasu's only line of attack. Like, he has no other way to kind of do some damage to Ryan's board, which is kind of unfortunate. But he does run 2 of them, but his bench is full, so there's not much room for him to do anything. So it's kind of unfortunate that he's in this position. But Hoopa stall or attacking Hoopa, it's a thing, and got Ryan to win his quarterfinals match. So yeah. So we do see 60 from the Mewtwo, and Adamasu did forget that there was a Fighting Fury belt there, but it happens. We do see another Max Elixir, and he whips it. It's so sad. See Fighting Fury belt come down on Hoopa, and we see an N, so they're both going to shuffle. We're going to see, I think, another Floatstone or Fighting Fury belt on the Hoopa on the bench. And he knocks out that Mewtwo. Oh, we do see double trade. Oh no, we see Sycamore. Sorry, not double trade. My apologies. My camera tilting and Ryan swooping in and fixing it. Thank you. Adamasu passes. There's not really much Adamasu can do. He's probably trying to figure out what his best option is for next turn. You know, he does bring up the Eevee with a Guzma and knocks it out. The good thing is Adamasu isn't under Parallel City, so he does have bench space now. Hopefully he can get a Mewtwo back. Now we see a Water Energy on the Lapras with that Aqua Patch. We do see retreat. We do see a trade, I guess, and he gets a Mewtwo, and then he does 30 damage to the bench. We see Guzma, and then retreats with Hoopa, or retreats with Zoroark, brings up Glaceon, so he's gonna knock out this this Oranguru. He does get rid of that Fighting Fury belt, so it does knock out the Hoopa on the bench, and we are gonna see a knockout on this Oranguru. Ryan Foley does Super Rod, throws 3 Pokemon back into the deck after he attached the DC to a Hoopa on the bench. We see a retreat, and we see Ryan get a knockout on a Glaceon. We do see retreat, DC on the Mewtwo. We see an Enhance Hammer, and that pretty much sums up the first game. So Hoopa is just a very complicated Pokemon to get through. Like, if you're not running like a basic non-EX, non-GX Pokemon, there's no way you're getting through that Hoopa. So yeah, so it's tough. It really is tough. But Ryan Foley takes the first game. Aramasu loses. He's gonna start us off in game 2, and hopefully Aramasu can find an answer to beating that deck. He does run 2 Mewtwo's, 2 basic Mewtwo's, which is really good. That kind of helps him get around the Hoopa, but hammers are intense. Maybe attaching water energies and trying to hit him with the water energies might be a thing. So we're going to see how this game turns out. So Aramasu starts. We do see a Mewtwo come down. We do see Ultra Ball getting rid of a Choice Band Glaceon. Gets his Aurora. So I guess he's going into his Zoroarks as fast as he can to kind of get the answers that he wants. We do see Energy Lotto. He does reveal the DC that it got into his hand. And then it passes. We see Ryan Foley attach a Dark Energy to Hoopa, and we see an N on his side. See Fighting Fury belt, and he passes. So we do see Zoroark, Zora, and we see, what is that? Nest Ball, maybe? Yeah, Nest Ball goes for Lapras. Trade. We do see Water Energy onto the Eevee, so it is going to evolve into a Glaceon. And he passes. Ryan does get a Cynthia after attaching a DC to Hoopa. So he's going to draw 6 cards, and this Hoopa is going to start its assault. It's doing 90 damage so far. We see a Tapu Koko, and we see 90 damage. So now it becomes a 3-shot game. He would have gotten that Reverse Valley. He would have been able to do 100, and it's a 2-shot game, which is really good. But 3-shot game, it's still pretty good because Adamasu can't really get around this Hoopa. We do see an enhanced hammer come down from Adamasu. We see the DCE and then a Sycamore. So Adamasu does draw 7 cards. And he ends up passing. We do see a secondary Hoopa come down from Ryan Foley's side. And he does another 90. See an Aqua Patch energy on Lapras. Adamasu having a really tough time with this Hoopa. Pretty much everyone at this tournament was not ready for Hoopa, and that's what happens. You get this one rogue deck that just sneaks in. We do see double Aqua Patch, or like maybe like one Aqua Patch and then attach for the turn, and then we see a knockout on the Tapu Koko. We do see Guzma brings up Glaceon and knocks it out. Adamasu now has to promote. He's promoting his Mewtwo. We do see Ultra Ball, discards EV Floatstone. Gets another Zoroark. We're going to see probably a double trade. Oh, we see a Tapu Lele. Goes for Cynthia? Question mark? Goes for N. Much better choice. To see the end go down. So they're both going to shuffle their hands and draw the number of prizes that they have out right now. We do see double trade, or no, one trade, and then Nest Ball goes for an Eevee. We see DCE and does 60 damage on Hoopa. Oh, we see energy attached to Hoopa on the bench. See Ultra Ball. Gets rid of that Giratina. That's an Oranguru with Instruct. He only has 1 card in his hand, so he is going to draw 2 cards off of this Instruct, which is really good. Does 90 damage and passes. I guess he didn't play the Oranguru, he just added it to his hand. It's interesting. We do see a DC attached to Zoroark. See Floatstone on Mewtwo. See Aqua Patch on that Lapras. Lapras getting really tanky. We see a Sycamore. He is going to draw 7 cards. You see Field Blower. And Mewtwo does get a knockout on that Hoopa. We are on turns, and it is Adamasu's last turn. And he realizes he has no way to get through this Hoopa, so it pretty much it's done. Adamasu understands that, concedes. Very sportsmanlike of him. No point in prolonging it, which is really great. So yeah, that is the semifinals match that happened this weekend at Northridge. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to share the video for anybody that wants to see how semifinals ended up this weekend. With that said, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.